Okay, looks like it's coming up. What does Phil know? But it's not coming up on my screen, so let's give it a minute. There it is. Okay, so we're going to go live. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling this morning because I've been away. I've been roaming the country. Got to get the volume down. Oh, that's on 0. Must be my... Oh, boy. I think I had a sound bar turned on. That's not good. Okay, so what does Phil know? That's what I want to know. Every year, little Punxsutawney Phil comes out and he checks out the weather and tells us that we're going to end up with a lot more winter. It's like, I'm tired of winter. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of tired of this whole thing. So, hey, Cindy Bagley, hi. So I'm going to put my feelings out on a page this morning. I've got a small journal here, and let's see. I've got some forget-me-not. I don't know if that's going to show up on here. We'll try it. How are you doing today, Cindy? So anyway, for the last 2 months, we've been traveling in warmer climates. We come back here, with the below 0 junk, and it's like, ooh, I'm really not ready for this. Really not liking it. And then Phil this morning comes out and says, we're going to have more winter. It's like, I don't want any more winter. I'm tired of winter. Yeah, deep freeze, absolutely. That's what they're saying. A lot of that going on. It's like, I can live without it. I don't know about you, but I can live without it. Have to have my space heater going. So, trying to stay warm. Trying to see the sun. So, I've got this. These are some stencils from, I think, Elizabeth Craft Design. I think that's where these came from. What is her name? Anne Green, I think, designed these. And they're a nice size for a small journal like this. Anyway, just going to get some. I'm using Archival because I'm going to put more stuff on this page, and I want to make sure that this stuff isn't moving around. I'm just doing a background right now. You miss me? I miss everybody. But I was having a good time. We went down. Oh, we went through most of the southeastern states. Went down through Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee. What else is down there? Of course, we spent a long time in Florida because we did that over the holiday and hit several areas there. I really liked the Destin area, watching the waves come up in the Gulf there. That was pretty. And I don't know why I'm doing that area because that's not even going to show. I know that's not going to show. already got something in mind, but I'm just gabbing here, talking about stuff. So that's probably good enough for a background. It's just a little bit of motion going on there with the stencil. So that was Forget Me Not, I think. Or, yeah, Forget Me Not. In archival ink. And next I want to create some of that sun that we're missing, right? We need some of that sun. So I'm just going to get a pencil or a pen. I guess I'll get a pen. Get a Sharpie here. Oh. And make some sunshine. Let's make some sunshine. I think I'm just going to create some rays coming out of my sunny shine. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be in the sun, although it wasn't as warm as it's been in past years down there. I can tell you that for sure. I mean, we were planning to go out to see the manatee on a boat ride. And the gal from the boats called us up and said, going to be kind of cold in the morning. Can we move your boat ride out to the afternoon? I said, oh, sure, no problem. Well, yeah, we could move the boat ride out to the afternoon, only it was still only like 30 degrees. My smile was telling off, wasn't it? I was enjoying the warmth for a change. So I think I'm going to put some gesso down to block out some of that. Where's my paper towel to mop a little of that water out? So anyway, we went out on this boat for Christmas and it was like 30 degrees. They should have canceled the whole thing. It was just freezing. We were all wrapped up like we were in the frigid north. And, you know, the kids were all really good sports about it, but there was no way we were seeing manatee. We barely saw any dolphin, you know, because it was cold. They were all hiding out. They didn't want to come out. And who could blame them, right? 30 degrees. So, and my husband was even a good sport about it. I gave him my coat because he was freezing. And we wrapped up as best we could. We were sitting on the life preservers to keep our behinds warm. Yeah, that is cold. Anyway, so, and you know, you're out on the water and the wind is blowing and just not a real good situation. So I think we were out for about 2 hours that way. We saw a lot of birds and things and some porpoise, but you know, not what we expected. And then we went home and drank a lot of cocoa because we needed it because it was cold out. I'm telling you, it was really cold. So it did warm up, you know, the next few days. I mean, it was up in the 70s after that, but it would have been nice because my daughter flew down. I have one daughter down there, and my other daughter flew down. My son wasn't able to make it, weather being what it was. Flights were canceled. Hi, Sybil. How you doing? Yeah, I was just playing around this morning. Been a while since I've been on, and I found my laptop when I got home and started hooking things up because after being gone for a while, I haven't had anything going, so I wasn't even sure if I remembered how to do this, but we're giving it a try. I'm just putting some gesso down here. I was talking to Cindy about the weather in Florida in January. Actually, we were there most of December because it took us about a week to travel down. And then we spent about a month in a B&B just south of where my kids were. And then we went further south to visit relatives. Yeah, I can believe that, Sybil. I've got a space heater for my feet, because even with the heat on and cranking, I'm always cold in the winter. Just my nature. I'm always cold. So I got this little space heater I have down at my feet, and I've got one in the basement too. I'm upstairs right now because it's too cold in the basement. I ran the space heater down there for a little while yesterday. Thought I was going to work down there and then decided, nope, it's definitely too cold. So up I came to try to be someplace warmer. So I'm going to let that gesso dry down a little bit. Don't know if I have any bright sunshiny paint up here. Look. I got some red. Got some limey green. Got some purple. I don't know. This wasn't exactly what I was thinking, so maybe I have to go to my pens. But anyway, Phil this morning, when he was saying we were going to get 6 more weeks, it's like, what does he know? What does he know? I'm not buying it, Phil. I'm just not going there with you. No, I don't want a software update. Thank you very much. Why does that always happen every time you come in here, right? So we're going to have a conversation with Phil here this morning because I'm not feeling it. So I'll dry this gesso down just a little bit. Just a few spots are a little bit thick. Yeah, what does he know? I'm just saying, I'm not having 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not wanting it. Okay, so what am I got? I've got a yellow highlighter. Let's see if that'll work on top of here. Well, it definitely is bright. Yeah. Mixed media, right? I can put a little bit of that fluorescent yellow in there. Get that sunshine heating it up. You need the heat. So that's just a yellow highlighter. Just bringing in a little yellow. I thought I had a yellow. I had a yellow Sharpie. Do I not? Surely I have a yellow Sharpie here somewhere. Oh, right in front of me. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. So I can get some of this yellow Sharpie out here. Or what is this? Copic. It's not Sharpie, it's a Copic. Duh. Don't even know what I'm working with here. I called it a Sharpie, called it a Copic. Neither one of those is right. It's a Posca pen. Wow. Have I been away from this too long? That's, oh boy. Oh boy. Don't even know what I have in my hand. He is a rodent. He is definitely a rodent. So let's see if I can spread some of that yellow ray out there. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. So I think rodents can be smart, but I don't think he is. He's not picking up what I'm putting down. When's the last time he didn't say we were going to have another 6 weeks? Anybody tell me that one? I mean, every year it seems like, for as long as I can remember, he's always said we're going to have more winter. Where's the rodent that tells us when we're going to have summer? So anyway, we went up through the grasslands in the middle section of Florida. I had never been to that area before. We went down to Fort Lauderdale, spent the night in what we call Bates Motel. Couldn't wait to get out of there. We packed up and left about 6 a.m. I don't think it's been a while. I think it's been a while too. I think it's been way too long. He needs to get his act together, doesn't he? So, yeah, the paint was peeling off the walls. I mean, I know it's on the ocean there. I get that. But, you know, if the metal rusts, you need to sand it down and paint it. You don't just let it fall apart. You don't need the paint peeling off the walls. You don't. It's like, it's really pretty creepy. Very noisy. I did one of those Priceline deals, and it was no deal, let me tell you. It was just kind of a real disaster. So we have a few laughs about what that night entailed. But even my husband was creeped out, and he doesn't get creeped out about a lot of things. You know, I'm the one that gets creeped out. But we got up early. He says, "Aren't you going to stay for breakfast?" And I said, "I'm not eating here." That's how bad it was. Oh. So anyway, Come on, yellow. Come on out of there. It's a nice bright yellow. We hit the road early, went up through the grasslands by, what is it, Okeechobee Lake, and up to Orlando. Stayed the weekend on the east coast or west coast, west side, not a coast. It's not a coast. It's the west side of town of Orlando. And that was beautiful. It was a nice stay there. But we'd been driving all day to get there. We're glad to have a down day just to rest, do some laundry, get caught up with things. And then I decided that we were going to take the scenic route because I didn't want to just get on one of those major roads. I like to see the country when I go. I like to thanks, Cindy. I like to see all parts of the country when I travel. And so we took some of the two-way roads, some of the stuff along the coast so that we could see things, stuff in the national forest there, see what that was like. And let me tell you, that had a, what do you call that? A strobe effect. When it got late in the day, because there's so many pine trees there and you're heading west along the panhandle, the light coming through the pine trees is just like a strobe light. It's just flash, 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 flash. I wasn't sure if we were going to have to pull over and stop because it as long as the sun was out, it was just like a strobe light coming through those pine trees because they're tall and thin, and they don't have any foliage down low. It's all up the top. And I think they must have grown for fence posts or something because they're straight up and down. They don't have a bunch of branches. And we saw truckloads of that stuff coming out of the area where it's being harvested. Not in the national forest so much, but there are other areas where they're just, and it's all over down. We saw that in Arkansas. We saw that in the Panhandle, in Florida. I had no idea they had that much lumber for harvest down there. So I'm learning, even at my age, I can learn something about the US of A and what's being grown and harvested. It was kind of dry. It wasn't like we were over on the eastern coast and that was wet. I mean, we had a lot of rain. And they do a lot of watering. They get so much water over there and they have to do something with it. So they use it. They recycle all of this capture water. And they don't charge them to put it out on the lawns. They just charge them for the electric to do that. And so that was kind of unique because they were putting all this. It was, my husband said it was sewage water because he could smell it because it was, it's the stuff that's in the basins that is being recycled. It's just the catch water. And they aerate it and then they recycle it on the lawns so that they can get rid of it because they get too much water. So that was kind of interesting to see what they were doing with that. Didn't smell so great, but oh well. They usually only sprayed in the mornings, only watered in the mornings. All right, get a little green. Let's get a little orange on some of this. So anyway, we went up to the Destin area. And hi, Laura, how are you? Been a while, my dear. We went up to the Destin area, and that was kind of on again, off again weather. Was rainy quite a bit, cold quite a bit. We had a few really nice days where, it was sunshiny and 70-ish, and really were enjoying those days. But when it was bad, we actually were looking for things to do. We had a couple of friends that had come down from our area, and I went out with them because her husband plays with a band. And so they have 3 or 4 different places that they play down there. So I went around and listened to them play. He plays with a guy that's out of Nashville, and they have fun playing their music and doing their thing. And so that's kind of how I filled at least one evening going out on the town with of course, they're all seniors. So they start about 4 p.m. and they're done with their set by 8. So, it's not a real lively group. It's a senior group. So that was kind of interesting. Anyway, they played some fun music. Of course, a lot of it I don't know because I'm not a real country girl at heart. I'm more of a blues and jazz and yeah. So you took the Grand. Oh, good. I was wondering if you got to Cuba. I hope you had a good trip. I hope the weather was good for you. Well, we cut out of Florida. We were thinking about staying longer. I was looking at some B&Bs in Florida. I mean, we did stay in one on the East Coast, but we were looking at stuff on the West Coast then in the Gulf area. And just didn't come up with the right combination. And then we were looking at the weather and what it was going to be like for the next month or so. The forecast was not real good, I'll tell you. We were trying to stay ahead of the weather. So they were saying that there were going to be tornadoes and all kinds of things coming in. And so we decided to get out in front of that and see if we could stay ahead of the weather. So we did pretty good. We didn't really hit weather until, we went across Alabama, Louisiana, stayed a night in Baton Rouge, and I asked my husband, did he want to keep going west to Texas? We were looking at the weather the whole time, or what did he want to do? And he said, well, I think I want to go home. It's like, rats. Rats. Very warm, no rain. Awesome. I'm glad you had a good time. I bet they keep you hopping. I bet they do. So, anyway, we were trying to stay away ahead of the weather. And that was kind of a chore. So by the time he said he wanted to go home, the weather was already starting to move our direction. And they were getting tornadoes down south and the big storm down in the Gulf coming across Florida and all that. And I was thinking, it's probably a good thing we're out of the Panhandle because it was hitting about then. So we kind of lucked out with that. But we were heading up then to Arkansas. We were coming up through Arkansas because we have a cousin in northern Arkansas that we wanted to visit. And we did. We came up in the morning so that we could meet them for lunch. And they were kind of worried about the weather too. They'd been watching it. And they live, I don't know if you guys have been through the Ozarks and the back hills there, but they live back in the woods, and it's lots of hills and rocks and woods. And so they have to come down this 3 miles of gravel to get to a main road to come and meet us. Well, they were kind of worried that the weather was going to turn, and it was starting to spit a little bit. We had a real good visit for about 2.5, 3 hours. And I said, well, if the weather's really turning, we should probably head north for our stay for the night because we were going to stay in Missouri. So, and they needed to get down their gravel road. So yeah, we just came out, and sure enough, it was starting to spit. So we were trying to get out of there before it got any worse. Oh, what's this color? I don't think I've used that color. Got a little purple here. I could put some purple on there. So let's see. I'll just put a little on my glass mat. And maybe just do a little dabble do ya with the purple here. We ended up spending the night in Branson, Missouri, and it snowed. And it snowed quite a bit. So we waited until, as long as we could, until they were kicking us out of the hotel, kind of. And then we went shopping in town for a little bit because my husband likes to collect rocks. And there was a rock shop there. And so we thought, well, we'll just go see what they've got, because he gets these globes where they've taken, semi-precious stone and they've turned it and polished it and made these really pretty globes. So we went to this rock shop, and I found a pretty piece of amethyst that had been turned for him. And then the roads were pretty clear by then, after we were shopping around for a while. I got some jewelry pieces for my girls to bring home to them. And I got some pieces to make into some jewelry, because, I like to make jewelry too. So I got a real pretty piece of glass and What else did I get? Oh, I got a stone. I got a piece of turquoise bead that I'm going to turn into something. And let me think, what else did I get? Oh, a nice piece that had copper on it. It was real pretty. But when I was down in Florida in the first place along the East Coast, I ran into this gal who is a glass artist. She does lampwork beads. And, I was telling her about journaling and that sort of thing. And I had some extra supplies along with me, so I'd given her a little bit of something. And pretty soon she comes back and she gives me this gorgeous lampwork bead. It's a heart. And, so I told her about Art Joy of Sharing, and I said, come on over and join the group and all of that. So if you see my friend Lisa Marie Fowler in Art Joy of Sharing, give her a shout out because she's a very sweet lady and she does beautiful work. You can check out her work at lisamariestudios.com. She's got lovely glass, and she will make custom pieces. So if there's something that you want done out of lamp work, she can do it for you. Anyway, we just enjoyed visiting and talking about art and all the things that we had done over time. Because I've done some lamp work, but since I've gotten older and it hurts to hunch over a flame and that sort of thing, I decided I wasn't going to do lamp work beading anymore. And so I sold my stuff off and just decided that was not for me. So let's see, we've got a hot pink here. Let's do some hot pink. Right? We need some heat in this sun. Bring on the hot pink. So that was really enjoyable. She has a new job, and she and her sister had come down just to celebrate. And so it was really cool to meet another fellow artist just sitting and eating breakfast in our hotel. So anyway, when the weather was bad, they had gone shopping and hit some of the places. We'd already been some of those places. And so Ron and I had decided to go play pool because we used to play pool all the time. And the first place we went to was a real dive. You were walking around and your feet were sticking to the floor. And we played a couple of games, and I looked at Ron and I said, can we move to another location where we're not sticking to the floor? So we went down the street a ways and found this really nice pool hall. I think they do championship pool there because they had a back room that was for more of the, the seasoned players, and then the front room that was just people like us that were, putting our quarters up and playing pool. So that was fun. So anyway, when we left Missouri, we started heading north because we were going to visit Ron's sister in Omaha before we came home. So this was, getting pretty close to February. We've been gone since the beginning of December. I think Ron was starting to feel a little bit homesick, a little bit ready to be back in his own nest. So we did visit with family there in Omaha. We, what color do I have here? Got a green. What do I want to do here? Dots and dashes. Just doodling here. Filling in space. So we were watching the weather there too, and the first thing they said was that we were going to get a big snowstorm coming in. And I said to Ron, do you think we can beat it and get home, or are we going to have to stay here for a while? And he said, oh, I'm sure we can make it home. So we left bright and early, and it had been snowing. It had been storming. The snowplows were out, and we were watching, as the storm proceeded to get worse. And we were on the road, and I said, well, worst case scenario, we can stop along the way. We could stop in Des Moines. We could stop a number of different places along the way. But we wanted to head north to Marshalltown, because that's a good way to go, because the roads are good there. Sorry, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so I hope you guys are still here. I'll see if it's coming through. Not sure what's going on with that. So, let's see, we got pink, we got purple, we got green. We got a little blue here. Let's do a little blue. And what do I want to do? Let's just do a crosshatch going this way. So are you happy to be home, Laura? Are you settled back into the cold and wishing you were still in Cuba? Okay, Cindy responded. So looks like the chat's still working. You guys are just quiet. That's all. Maybe you're working on your own art. I hope you're doing your own journal pages today too, because it's all about making journal pages right now, right? So let's do a zigzag, kind of like Easter egg zigzag here. And do this one in blue. We got one little ray here. Let's go back to our purple. And what do I want to do? Something really simple, I think. Let's see, we got zigzag. We got stripes going this way. Maybe I just need to do something like this. Okay. And I didn't finish my green over here. Shame on me. Okay, so now I think I need a black. I have a large black. A black Sharpie, maybe that'll work. Here I am sitting with my brush drying out in my hand. Don't get to see the sun that much. I hope it looks like mine too, I'll tell you. It's kind of a fun fun, happy-go-lucky sun, isn't it? I need a bigger pen. This isn't giving me the defined line that I'm looking for. I wonder if I have one in the drawer. Oh, look at that. I have a nice big juicy pasta. And I have what do I have in my bag? Let's check that out. I need to work on this some more too. I was doing this little bitty journal when I was traveling. I need to finish that up. Let's see. Oh, there's a nice big Sharpie. Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. Oops, and then I knocked my stuff on the floor. All right, let's see if I get a better outline with this. I want to give it some definition here. I like the contrast of the brights with the dark. See if I can do it without ruining the pen. Sharpies usually do pretty good over the acrylic. Of course, the acrylic would probably do okay with the acrylic too, but okay, so let's do our sun rays. Getting some of that in my pen nib. So are you on the West Coast then, Cindy? Because I know my brother's out there in Oregon and they get a lot of rain. A lot of rain. Sorry, I just can't remember where everybody lives. Wish I could. This old brain, I can't even remember what kind of pen I've got in my hand. So, yeah. I guess I'm doing okay for an old fart. So, I know I feel a lot better in the heat. My body doesn't complain quite as much. Old Arthur doesn't rear his ugly head as much. So are you guys working along? Are you working on a journal? Are you gonna do some of those things that Cindy was doing the other day? I need to do some of those elements that she was doing. I think I need to have some of those ready to go. Today, I wasn't sleeping last night, so I got up and I organized some of my dies. I've got those Elizabeth Craft Design journal dies, and I thought, I've got some Elizabeth Craft Design journals, and I want to make some of those. I need to organize them and see what I have. And so I went through my stash and I made a spreadsheet. Let's see. He needs a nose, so he needs eyes, and he needs a nose. So let's get Mr. Sunshine smiling down on us here. I'm going to go back to, I think I'm going to go back to this Posca because that's skipping a little bit. I want this nice and dark. Yeah, the Posca's actually doing better than the Sharpie on this. So let's see. Try and clean up some of those edges a little bit. The new which new one? I got the red one. I haven't got the new gray one yet. Did you get the gray one? Tell me how you like it if you got that. I was playing with the red one yesterday. And I'd ordered it before we went on vacation. So I just got it in. That soft gray, though, looks really inviting. I'm having a hard time. I've actually got some credit with Ranger. I should probably use to get those colors that I want. It's so tempting. You know, every time he comes out with a new one, it's like, do I need that? No. Do I want it? Yes. But the whole distress line, I love the whole distress line for colors. And that was another thing I did last night. I was rearranging some of my ink pads upstairs so they're closer to my desk. Because, you know, I love my ink pads. Okay, I think he's looking pretty bright and sunshiny. So I'm not too unhappy with that. I should probably get my fill on the page. Don't know how much of him I want on the page. I think about that much. I think I'll get some collage medium. Yeah, Lost Shadow. Ooh, Sybil, you're going to have to post something that you make with that. I'm interested in that. It sounds really, really yummy. And I like, you know, for backgrounds and things, the soft gray is so nice. Let's see, I've got a silicone applicator here. So let's get some gel down on the page. This actually is some of Tim's collage medium. I really like it. It's got a nice consistency to it. Probably should have done this paper. Oh well. I didn't know exactly where it was going to come out on the page, but let me get that. Push down. I think I'll go over it. I just printed a picture. Because Phil, I need to talk to you about this whole thing. I need to talk to you, Phil. We need a conversation. No more of this winter crap. Okay. So I'm just going to seal that as best I can. See if I can get a little more of that underneath. Get it pushed down. And I'll trim off that edge later. I want to get him sealed up so that if I want to come back over him with something, he's got a layer. Make sure I get the air bubbles out. As best I can. Well, we all deserve a treat once in a while, don't we? Okay, so he was saying, here's that other Sharpie. Oh, that's going to be wet. Oh, not thinking. Still yakking. Let's see. Didn't seem to want to write. There we go. Sometimes I have these finer Sharpies. I have a little difficulty getting them started. You guys ever have that issue? Sharpies are usually pretty good, but every once in a while. Okay. So, is that dry enough to cut? Might be. Give her a try. I might have to sand that edge a little bit. Looks like I need just a touch of glue there on the edge. I had a glue stick out here. There it is. Oh dear. Okay. We'll just stick it down with some glue stick. See if I can get that to stay put. So he is saying, that does not want, okay. Gonna go to the next side because that does not want to write there. He is saying 6 more weeks of winter. Is just too much. Just saying, 6 more weeks of winter is just too much. So I had a stencil here. Yeah, I've got a stencil here, and I've got, I don't have a black. Yeah, I've got a jet black archival. So I'm going to use it. I like this little, oh, I didn't clean up my paint. Before I stick my elbow in it, I should probably wipe it up. Because you know I do that all the time. Stick something in it. A journal, my elbow, whatever's handy, I can stick it in there. Okay. So, do a black archival. Let's get a, this is a Stencil Girl stencil. Yeah, the thing I like about that red is that they don't put binders in that red paint. So, you know, I used this sponge yesterday. It's still soft. All right, I had a sponge. Guess I'll use this one. Yeah, that'll work. So, anyway, I like these trivets because they kind of hold your stuff from slipping around. So I'm going to say that I don't know if that's going to be dark. No. I get to choose choose and I'm sticking by my guns. I'm going to choose Sunshine. How about it, guys? You going to choose Sunshine? Or are you liking the winter? Are you snow people? Do you go out and do snow sports and all of that? We used to when we were kids. We ice skated, we toboggan, did all that kind of stuff. But I think I got my fill of it as a kid. My dad officiated at the skating rink. So we went out there every weekend to the ice skating rink. My brother was a speed skater. Actually, all my brothers were speed skaters. I did some speed skating. They wanted me to do the other kind of skating, but you know, I was always a tomboy. So that wasn't my skating of choice to be figure skating. Peggy Fleming was their all-time favorite, so, you know, I had to compete with that. And believe me, I was no Peggy Fleming. But I did like speed skates. You know, speed skating is an entirely different thing from figure skating. Figure skating, you got these little bitty blades. You got the toe pick that gets stuck in the ice. You don't have that in speed skates. Speed skates, they just make you go fast. And instead of going straight like you do with a regular blade, with speed skate, you use it to push yourself off. So you're doing a motion almost like swimming. You're doing a motion like this, and you get in a rhythm. And, I could be out there on the ice and I'd be in a rhythm, and I liked it a lot. But, that wasn't to be. Oh, I made kind of a mess up there, didn't I? Oh, well. Oh, well. It was just a fun page for today. That's all I was thinking, is I wanted to do something fun for today. Oh, this is a fun pen. Is that red? I think it is red. Oh, yeah, it is. I should have used that on something. Well, I guess I am using that on something. This is one of those, sometimes I just find things in my bag and start playing with them. This is one of those Jane Davenport brush pens. I think they were clearing some out someplace, and I bought some. Going to be very, very cold tomorrow. I heard something like 14 below here. It's like, not looking forward to that. So, at least it's been warming up during the day. Although, not enough to melt the snow that's outside. It usually just warms up enough to dump some more snow. So, okay, I like that. I get to choose sunshine. And Phil, you can keep your 6 more weeks. All right, I should have a Faber-Castell pen up here, but I don't think I have that. So, what do I have? I have a lot of stuff out. That's what I have. What else have I got here? I think this needs a little more. A little more doodle, a little more fun stuff. Let's do some dots in these. Just because we can. And what else have I got here? I think that's a highlighter too. Yep, that's a highlighter. So that's not going to do much. Take those Posca out of my bag and put them where they belong. Well, there's a nice orange. That orange would have been cool on there too, wouldn't it? Next time. Okay, here's a Stabilo. Thought I was going to have to use this Sharpie roller. I have used these. You guys have these Sharpie rollers? You can pick these up at the Staples or Office Supply. And if you get it while it's still wet, you can still get it to move. Kind of like your minus 21 in Celsius. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what that is. You're going to make me work on that, aren't you? It's cold, whatever it is, it's cold. I hear you. So I'm just doing a little shadowing here. Under the rays. Just because I think it could stand a little bit of that. Should put some puffy clouds in there too. Oh well. Got a little bit of the wind blowing up there with that background. Oops. Do I have a white pencil? Maybe not. Got a white pasta. Oh, that went right over my nice dark line. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me playing around with Phil on a page today, because he just needed to be addressed. He just really needed to be addressed. I just thought, Phil, I'm not liking what I'm not picking up what you're putting down here, buddy. He just was not feeling what I was feeling. So I needed to get it out of my system. I needed to choose sunshine today instead of 6 more weeks of winter, right? I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're playing along, making art, trying to stay warm. I think I want this over here a little bit more. See, I just can't leave a page alone. I just have to keep going on it. I just think he needs a bushier eyebrow or something. Anyway, I'm going to call it good for today. I'm going to go get some more coffee, warm my feet, and hope to see you guys again soon. Now that I'm home, I intend to do a little bit more in my journal and creating, because I'll be stuck inside. So thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate seeing you. I hope you have a great day, that it doesn't get too cold out there, and that your fingers are still moving so that you can paint or draw or do something, doodle, and choose sunshine. Bye, guys.